Former policeman Roger and his wife agreed to host an international student in their home. They were expecting shared companionship. Instead, the 24-year-old woman would allegedly commit an ISIS-inspired knife attack on their family. Now they want answers from the company who placed the accused terrorist in their home.
She was pushing the knife into my neck, and all she was saying is Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah
It's an
Akbar.
act of horror in a home full of love. All that we did was offer our love, and it was just not me. It was my husband, my 5-year-old, who could not wait to reach out and be with her and spend that time.
Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
We understand she had connections in Bangladesh and associated with people who had been radicalised.
I'm just scared somebody is going to come and kill me and hurt my daughter as well. Who's the boss in the house?
My dad.
I was just torn to pieces at a time.
It was the day police say the terror came to town. More specifically, it was the day that terror came to this suburban home. Living here, 2 hard-working parents and the most beautiful 5-year-old girl you're ever likely to meet. They offered the female international student love, friendship and food. And in return, they say she repaid them with this.
Good evening. A foreign student is tonight behind bars accused of carrying out an ISIS-inspired attack.
This is the knife, Martin. Very similar to this knife. She stabbed me on my neck.
Where did she get the knife from?
From here, from this drawer.
The alleged attack on Roger Singaravellu is shocking enough. But investigate further as Victoria Police, the Federal Police and ACA did, and the result is stunning. Linked to the attack, police say the feared terror organisation ISIS.
I'm very angry and disappointed.
Angry at whom?
Of the government.
You don't believe you were offered enough protection?
No. After what has happened, I don't believe we're taking enough measures. I'm not even safe in my own house.
How far in did the blade go?
About 3 centimetres? That deep.
That went that far into you?
Yeah.
Roger and his wife Maha agreed to host an international student from Bangladesh, Momina Shoma. They claim a placement agency, the Australian Homestay Network, gave them just 1 hour to decide. It was February 9 this year. You and your wife were being good Samaritans.
We believe so. Hand here.
2 days later, Roger claims the 24-year-old attacked him with a large knife as he slept with his daughter.
And we were having an afternoon nap.
You had your daughter in your arms?
Yeah.
And you were having your afternoon
nap, yeah.
Because you're a shift worker?
Yes, I am. And I got waken up by my daughter, the screaming from my daughter. And the next minute, I saw Shoma was standing, kneeling on a knee here, leaning against me with a kitchen knife. She was holding the handle. All she was keeping saying, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. While my
daughter Shayla, a terrified witness.
I was pleading with her for a good 4.5 minutes and saying, please let go, Shoma, please let go, we will talk. Now I told my daughter, run, Shayla, run.
Roger's alleged attacker, Shoma, was dressed in a full burqa. You fought her?
Yes.
You grabbed the blade?
Blade? Because I knew that if she's going to push more, I'm going to die.
Neighbours, including Roger's best friend Mustafa, rushed to help.
It was all blood all over.
One neighbour staunched the bleeding, while Mustafa ran inside to restrain the alleged attacker. Mustafa, what else did she say to you about coming to Australia?
Yeah, I said to her, you come here, your parents sent you here to go to do the study, I say. And you, what do you want to do? No, I didn't come for that, she said. I come for this.
I come for this?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Bleeding profusely, Roger still managed to call his wife Maha at work.
I feared the worst when Roger said that I've been stabbed and there was no mention of Shayla in the picture.
Shayla was with neighbours, Roger was rushed to hospital, Momina Shoma was arrested by police, and an innocent suburban family from Melbourne suddenly found themselves at the centre of an international terror investigation.
We'll allege that the incident was stand-alone, Islamic State inspired, and designed to cause harm to the community.
But 2 days later, this revelation. Shoma's sister in Bangladesh was arrested after allegedly stabbing a police officer investigating family ties to terrorism. Police in Bangladesh now allege that in 2014, Roger's alleged attacker, Shoma, was romantically linked to this man, Najbullah Ansari, who authorities believe was a member of a terror group behind the 2016 attack on this bakery cafe in the Bangladeshi capital of Dhaka. That attack killed 29 people, including 18 foreign hostages.
We're alleging that this woman did not come into this country to study or in good faith. She came here to harm people. Therefore, she should not have been allowed into this country.
Furthermore, lawyer Aki Monier from Arnold, Thomas and Becker in Melbourne says the agency that placed the alleged attacker into Roger and Maha's home was negligent.
The agency failed in their duty of care. They did not perform the relevant checks.
Also, she claims, the agency failed the family after the alleged attacker was terminated from another host family.
We think the fact that the original agreement was terminated so suddenly was a red flag to the agency.
What were you told about her by the Homestay network?
Very little. So they didn't send us the profile of her until she already arrived, then they sent a profile of her. We were not given enough time to accept this girl.
One of the burning questions here is why the student was rushed into Roger and Maha's home at such short notice. And also, why was she terminated from the other host family? Now it can be revealed. The other family was terrified. And I quote from a magistrate in the Melbourne Magistrates Court, "We're scared and we don't want her living with us." Why were they scared? Because they claimed she carried out a practice attack on a mattress in their home.
How could they do this? How could they knowingly know what they knew and put this person with us?
With nowhere to go, she was then rushed here to Roger and Maha and little Shayla's home. And they were not told why she was terminated from the other family.
How could they not tell us? We had the right to know. They have endangered our family.
In Shoma's profile, she describes herself as an introvert who suffered many food allergies. When this woman arrived, you got a shock, didn't you?
Yes.
Why did you get a shock?
I didn't expect this woman to be full burqa. You can't even see her eyes. She had a mesh across there. She was fully blacked burqa.
This is where we sat down.
And you fed her?
Yes.
And gave her friendship and love?
Absolutely.
Maha says the woman was polite during her 2-day stay, but refused to remove the burqa. Her identity is a mystery.
Right up to the time when she appeared on the paper, where we saw the face.
For the first time.
This is the person who lived in our house.
What the family didn't know about their house guest was frightening. Bangladesh counter-terrorism officials say she was denied a visa for Turkey in 2014. Why she was granted a student's visa by Australia's Border Force raises serious questions.
My reaction is one of concern. How was this allowed to occur in the first place? And was there either a lapse in our process or was our process not simply followed?
Doug Nicholson, former Australian Federal Police officer, is a counter-terrorism specialist. He now works with the GM Risk Group. Are you happy with our national security?
No, I'm not. The application for a student visa, in the context that our threat level is raised, in the context that this person's coming from a region of concern, in the context that all of a sudden we are now understanding that she had direct associates with Islamic terrorist groups. When you look at those three things together, how was she allowed to enter this country in the first place?
This woman offered to babysit your 5-year-old daughter.
She did.
What does that do to you now when you think of that?
It gives me goosebumps thinking what she had done.
Why not? We're going to watch.
Little Shayla was confronted and confused by the stranger wearing the full burqa. But so typical of 5-year-olds, accepted it, wanted to make friends and play.
I want to Collingwood to play, please.
Roger, what effect has this had on your daughter Shayla?
She's experiencing a lot of flashback at the moment. A couple of weeks ago, she said, "Dad, I'm seeing a lot of blood on the wall there. That's blood there, Dad." I said, no, darling, there's no blood there. She said, "No, that's blood there. Please wash it away."
She's had dreams where I've died in the dream and someone stabbed me.
You've died or you've died?
Died in the dream.
What does it do to you?
I don't know how much it's impacted her.
Yeah.
This is not why we did all this. This is not what we wanted.
What Roger and Maha wanted was a multicultural experience for their daughter and to extend a helping hand to international students to help them to assimilate. The stranger in the house, Shoma, has been charged with terrorism and faces life in jail.
Where has the system failed?
Hiya.
From humanity to heartache, the road to recovery will be long and arduous.
They're good ones, Shayla.
Roger, a psychiatric nurse, is now seeing a psychiatrist. He can cope with his injuries, a ruptured vertebrae in his neck and severed tendons in his hand. But it destroys him that his 5-year-old daughter has night and day terrors. Shayla too is receiving professional help.
I'll teach you.
Yeah, you teach me, okay.
We trust and care, and that's what we did. And in return, it's been betrayed.
The Australian Homestay Network says it was shocked by what happened to Roger and his family. You can read their statement in full on our website.